Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to discuss about break, continue, return, and go to statements. In previous session, we have discussed about for loops, while loops, and do while, and for each. So in this session, we are going to discuss about break, continue, go to, and return, which are a jump statements. If you want to control your program from one point to other, and if you want to break the loop, or if you want to continue from the next iteration, so in this cases you will be using a jump statements. So these are very pretty easy. Just let's switch to Eclipse and just see few examples. So I'm going to create a new class here. Jump statements example. I'm going to create a main class. I am just printing a small text. Let me run this. Let me clean my project and refresh. Whenever you see the class is not created, or if you are getting a old outputs, just do a project clean and just do a refresh. I have printed jump examples. Okay, now let me show you an example of break. So if you remember, we have used break in switch class. Switch for switch loops, where we have specified a break for each case. So in this case, you might have observed that whenever a break statement is executed, it breaks the loop. It breaks the complete loop and comes out, right? So in the same way, we can use these breaks in different conditions, in a conditional statements or in a for loops or in a switch or in any case. Okay. Now let me show you one example. Let me take okay, I already have int a is equal to 7, right? So now let me write a condition here. I'll say if I equal to 5, I'll say system.out.println inside if, and here I'll call break. Okay, int a equal to 7. Okay, okay, you can see here what the error it is throwing. Break cannot be used outside the loop of a loop or a switch. Okay, so you cannot use this in a conditional statements. You can use this only in a for loops. Okay, now let me comment this. Of course you can use in a for loop, if loop, but provided you have this if in a loops. Okay, now let me take for loop for int I is equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. Okay, now I am going to print system.out.println I value is plus I. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm printing a numbers from 1 to 10. Okay, so let me comment this for now. So let me run this now. See, I have from 0, 1, 2, 3 till 10, right? Now what I'll do is I'll write a condition. Whatever the condition I specified here, I'll write a condition. Okay, I'll say if I equal to 7, then I'll say I value reach 7, breaking the loop. Okay, I'll call break. Now see, now in the output you will not have a 7 in the value. Okay, you will have 7 here, it will be printed, but from 8 it will be skipped. Okay, let me run this program. You can observe I values reached 7, breaking the loop. That means if I value is 7, it's completely exiting from the loop. You can observe it's not coming here, it's exiting. So that's the reason here when you specified a equal to 7, it says what it says: break cannot be used outside of a loop or a switch. You should have either a loop or you should either have a switch statements. Okay, that is what about break. Now let's see an example of continue. Okay, so let me switch to the list of jump statements. What we have: break, continue, go to, unwritten, right? So let's see an example of continue. So let's take a same example. Okay, let me comment this, or I'll mention as break example. Okay, now let me copy this, let me take it as continue example. Okay, now I'll not print this, I'll not take this, continue. Okay, and I'll have here system.out.println I value is plus I. Okay, now what I'm trying to do here is let's first see the output, what it is printing. Let me comment this break example. You can observe now whenever I equal to 7, it gives continue, and then it's coming, it's going here and it's printing the values, right? Now let's see how this continue works. Okay, let's take one example, or let's take if I percentage 2 equal to 0. That means I am trying to take only odd numbers. Okay, I just given a condition here and I'll say I value is I. Okay, now let me run this and let's see what the output it prints. Yeah, you can observe here I have printed 1 3 5 7 9. Do you observe why these 2 4 and even numbers are not printed? Here I said if I% 2 equal to 0. I% 2 is nothing but it's a reminder of I. So what is the, this is a modular function, you will come to know about it later. This is called modulus. Okay, and if I% 2 equal to 0, that means if the value is divisible by 0, that means it's an even number. If it's an even number, it does not come to this statement, it directly continues again. First 1 will be coming, next 2 will be coming. If 2 is having a reminder 0, then it continues, it will not come to this statement. And if next the value is 3, yes, now this value is 3 and it's not 0, so it will not continue, so it will come to this statement. That way you can print the odd numbers here. So let me write it here, printing odd numbers. Okay, this is an example of continue, right? So next what we have, we have a go to, right? Next thing is we have go to. So Java does not provide any direct keyword as go to, but instead you'll be using a labels. Okay, we will see with an example. Okay, now let me take for loop again. I'll call it as for int j is equal to or I is equal to 1, sorry, int I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 100, I plus plus. Okay, I am taking a nested for loops here. So I'll say system.out.println. I'll say outer, and I'll take one more for loop for int j is equal to 1, j less than or equal to 100, j plus plus. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to print nested. This is an outer for loop and this is a nested for loop. Right now I'll compare a value here. Now I'll say if j equal to 2. Okay, now I'll say break out. Okay, so here you see the label out is missing. So the syntax is you have to specify like this. Okay, now you observe this error is gone because there are two types of goto. Okay, example of goto. Okay, you can say continue label break label. So this is the syntax. Okay, so you can specify out here with a colon, and if you can specify break out, that means whenever this condition is true, it comes into this loop in this condition and it jumps to out. It checks in the program where the out is located and it jumps there. That means it will go there. Okay, or you can say you can sorry, this will not continue, this will break from both loops because this out is located in the parent for loop and this is a nested for loop. So when this statement is executed, it will exit from both the for loops. Okay, now let me run this program. See, it came only two times if you observe. So if j equal to 2, it breaked. That's the reason first two iterations it printed nested. Now if I give this 5 and if I run this program, see, it printed 5 times. So if this condition is true, it's going to exit the complete two for loops. Okay, this is an example of you can even use continue also here instead of break. You can use continue and run this program. See, now it's based on when j equal to 5, it will continue. That means it will come here and it will start executing here again. Okay, that's how this goto will be operated. Okay, next, coming to next example, let me comment this. Now next example is return. This return is very easy. You will be using it in a functions or methods. Okay, let me take a simple example. I'll call it as int. I'll write a function first. Okay, int sum int a comma int b. Okay, now I'll say return a plus b. Okay, what's the error here? Okay, I think we have declared here a, right? So that's the reason it's not taking. Now let's take x and y and return x plus y. Okay, so this is how you will use your int. Okay, okay, we have to declare an object. Okay, I'll call it as jump underscore statements underscore examples. j is equal to new. Okay, now I'll say int sum is equal to j dot. Okay, this function should be outside of the main block. Okay, so now I can call the value j dot. I'll call. Okay, let me take this int sum, return a plus b. Now I'll say int z is equal to z dot sum of. You can see the function is visible here. Sum of, I'll say 10 comma 20. Okay. Now I'll print this j value. System dot out dot println j value is C. Now let me run this program. You can see z value is 30 because when we declare 10 and 20 here, it is calling this function and return x plus y. So these 10 and 20 will be received by this method, and it will do a summation in this return statement, and it gives the value of 30. Now if I specify here x minus y and run this program again, it gives minus 10. And if I give a multiplication operator and if I run this program again, it gives me 200. So whatever the statement which has a return, it will pass this value. So return basically will return the value to this variable which is called from. Okay, that's about return statements. And also you can have a simple returns also. Say, let me say for example void display. Okay, and I'll have a simple statement system dot out dot println. I'll call it as welcome, and let me call this. How do I call it? I already have an object created for this class j, so I'll say z dot display. You can see the value, the method is displayed here by default, so I'll select that. And when I run this program, first it should do an addition and print the value. Next it should call this display method, and then in display method we have a system dot out dot println, and it should print this. Okay, let me run this program now. See, you have a multiplication. Okay, since I put it as sum, let me change it to plus only. Okay, now z value is 10, that means summation is 10, and then j dot display, it will go here and it will execute this welcome and then my jump examples. Okay, this is how this return statement is. Here if you observe, okay, you can even specify the value here, return. Okay, it does not return anything, but this, when this method is executed, it passes whatever the statements is executed in this method, that will be passed here, and you will have a text here. So even though if you didn't specify, that's not an issue, but since it's a void function, it's not returning anything. And since this is an integer variable, it's returning an integer variable. Okay, that's how this return works. So these are very important in when you are doing automation. It helps you to perform your operations in a program and maintain the flow of your program. So all these concepts are very much important, the jump concepts. If you want to break a loop, or if you want to continue if a particular condition is met, or if you want to jump to a particular line of code, you'll use a go to, that means labels, using a labels. And return, you will be having this when you want to create a methods or function. So these are very important. Just take some examples. I'll give you this program in an um, description box, so you can copy paste and try, but I request you to just try the programs of your own so that you will be familiar with this basic concept. So once you are strong in these basic concepts in Java, then we will be moving to automation, then your life will be easier in getting these concepts. Okay, So that's all for now, and in the next session we will see with different examples and with different concepts will come up. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.